Check. Audio check, ladies and gentlemen. The show audio check. Let us know if you can hear me. And Pedro, give me an audio check.
Audio check. 1 2 1 2.
All right, we'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. Just getting the show started here. Give Pedro and I a second to get everything going. We had another viewer say, hey, your show yesterday had too many technical glitches. You guys aren't put together. But it always happens on the first show when we're back at it in a new studio or someplace else. But not today. Today we got our shit together. Oh, hold on. You're not on, Pedro. Hold on, Pedro. Hold on. Hold on. I know you got all these things to say. We're just getting the show started here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us again. Today is May 7th, 2024, if you can believe it. It's 2 days past Cinco de Mayo and 1 day past Seis de Mayo. I always say Seis de Mayo is the worst day because you have a massive hangover from Cinco de Mayo. But anyway, today is Siete de Mayo of 2024. Here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. And as always, I've got my co-host, Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst here. Pedro, what's happening?
Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's up, my peoples? I hope everybody's doing well. It is good, man. It is good. We got Chuck in the house, bro. We got Space Cat. We got the OGs. Timothy Futes.
Yes, Tim Fountains is here.
What up, brother? It's good to see you. We got... Who else is here? We got all the regulars. Good to see you guys. It is good. if you guys don't mind, please hit that like, subscribe, and share button.
Space Dad, thank you.
The hearts are always great. Hitting the 100 and hearts. That does do something. I noticed like when there's a lot of those hit on one show, I feel like we get a lot of hits after. So if you guys could hit those heart buttons, hit those like buttons, and those little like thing on the side, you just press it a million times. Those will really actually get us going. Also, if you guys have any stuff where you could maybe like and share this nice little thing that we're doing to a lounge or to a Facebook page, that would help as well.
As always, we're just sitting out here just begging. Just share us around. We got to get these numbers up. We've got a good core group of people here watching on the show. We bring you good information every day. But we don't have the Yo Bro Moon Boys crowd on it, and that seems to be a very large crowd. But there is a large professional group out there of people that want to learn more about crypto. I was watching the Tasty Live shows earlier, and everyone on that show is 60 years old or older on their options trading program, and they've got 1,000 people watching. Why can't we have 1,000 people watching? We're working towards it, ladies and gentlemen. We're working towards it because we will keep this circus going. But anyway, as Pedro said, welcome everyone. Please like, comment, follow, comment again. Just do it. Today we're on LinkedIn again and on Twitter.
Nice.
So if anyone's watching from those platforms and you don't see our interaction, the great comment machine doesn't work that well with those platforms.
Yeah.
But also, remember, if you're watching on YouTube and you need to multitask on your device, switch over to Twitch and watch us on Twitch. Just search DYOR Media, you'll find it. And you can listen to us in the background while you work and hide your screen from your boss. Drano in the house. Drano, got my sound effects working, Drano? That's right, LeBron James.
Oh yeah, Drano, what up?
Drano, we're gonna have a conversation about mainnet Z here one of these days. It needs to get going here.
Come on. But
you know, get going. They need to change their name. They need to drop them. Either switch it to mainnet or NetZ or something that the combination of the two doesn't roll off the tongue well and doesn't. Got to shorten it up, something like that.
But here's the thing, man. I mean, you know, they have their ups, they have their downs, they have their sideways, and you know, sometimes it's the way it rolls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right. Drano says, "Let's do it. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen." The topic of the show today, I put up. As always, we talk about crypto ad nauseum here, but the topic I wanted to talk about is the overall reaching thing was the tokenization of stocks. I know it's kind of on the face of it, it's a boring subject. But the point about what I wanted to talk about, we'll get to later in the show, is about how things are changing and how blockchain technology is sweeping every industry, and it's going to sweep through the stock market as well. But before we get into that, Pedro, like we always say, let's talk about Bitcoin and what is going on in the world of the master token itself.
Oh yeah, let's check them out. It's pretty nice here. Let's check them out. So one thing about we all know, like, some big stuff is happening in the world of traditional TradFi with Warren Buffett making some statements about the market. Actually, Warren Buffett never says we're in a bear or bull market. He just holds his cash until it's a bear market where he can buy some really, really good stuff, right? And so he made some couple statements of, well, we've got about $180 billion sitting in reserve, which is like, that's
$180 billion.
That is so, like, that's a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, the largest company in the world right now, which is pretty much Apple, right? Or any of the other top tech stocks, the highest that they have, I think it's 110 billion. I don't know who it is, but I just remember reading through it real quick. But it's basically what a big tech stock. But all the big tech stocks all have like, you know, really good, substantial, in case they really fall on hard time, they've got a pretty big, what's the word I'm going to use? A nest reserve egg, right? And so they can actually keep going even if stuff was to fall apart in America or whatever. Well, what was interesting is when Mr. Buffett came out and said, yeah, this is what I got. Everybody was like, what? And it was actually brought to light during the Berkshire Hathaway's meeting that they had this week. So it was really interesting to sit there. So with that said,
did you see it when he called the new guy Charlie?
Oh yeah.
He referred to his poor partner of 60 years who died a couple months ago. He just says, "And well, Charlie," and the guy goes, "Boss, I'm not Charlie." A little younger.
Well, that was sad. That was actually really
it was sad. It was sad. It wasn't funny. I shouldn't make fun of it. You know, he's been doing the same thing for 60 years, and so.
Yeah. 70. It's like 70 years, I believe. Right? Because he started Berkshire Hathaway in his 20s, right? And he's 90.
Yeah, he started. I forget the original the name of his investment company before he bought Berkshire Hathaway. The insurance company.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's been at it for a minute, and then
I think in the 50s is when he started.
No, man, he started making money, like his big money, at the age of 50. Like, that's when he really started killing it, right? It was like 40 years, like 30 years, 40 years after when he really started. I mean, it was in the 70s when he really invested into McDonald's and that thing exploded. Anyways, let's jump back to Bitcoin here. So with that said, it did actually put a little damper on some of the market here, even with Bitcoin. So I just thought it was really interesting. But as we look at it from the charting standpoint, we're basically doing what I expected we were going to do. We basically went up, then came down from yesterday, and now we're starting to push up. So we're gonna, like I said, it's gonna be this little oscillation period because we're literally in a monthly area, or excuse me, a weekly area where we're playing off of the 20 and the 8 and the 20 and 8 until we really break out of this area. So be ready for that. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, my friend.
Yeah, no big news in the markets regarding BTC in the past day or so. I mean, yesterday obviously we had a big update because we hadn't been on the air much, but we wanted to try and walk through it. But I did yesterday on Bitcoin. You did mention that the up and then the down, then the up, and if I recall correctly, at some point you mentioned $80,000. Where is that range? Is that your red line right there? No, that would be your yellow line.
Yeah, no, that's actually up here. So if we bust out of this level here, and it's got to come in again with volume, right? But it's really that 8-period moving average. If we get above here on the weekly level and close, okay, with big volume this week or next week, we're going to 80,000. We're going to hit, well, I expect us to hit 80,000, but it all depends on what the market wants to do. So right now we're in this kind of equilibrium standpoint where it's just kind of chilling out here.
It's chilling.
Consolidating. Yeah.
I know. I was going. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I expect us to come down into this, like that 30,000 area. I know people don't want to hear it, but that's what I do expect.
It would be there would be mayhem in the markets and the doom. All the YouTube influencers. If someday we wish we could say we're one, we can influence anything. But I can just see their thumbnails right now be skull and crossbones, people hanging, jumping off buildings, all that type of stuff. Shurian, thank you for joining us, Plain Jane. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming up and representing the Spurgis family.
Thank you. Shout out.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I can't. Man, my brain's on like a half-second delay here.
No, do we have a delay?
No, it's my brain. I switched back. Actually, I shouldn't say it's a delay. I should say my mouth is behind my brain. I switched back to drinking coffee recently. I stopped at on the way back. This is Striking, and I stopped in Georgia or South Carolina or North Carolina, one of those places, at one of the Black Rifle coffee locations. And I'm a big fan of those guys. They turned a bunch of veterans that turned absolutely nothing but PSD in their pissant lives into a huge public company and making tons of money on YouTube and with their coffee company. Kudos to them. But their locations are like they're like shrines for veterans and everyone else who follows the gun rights crowd. It's called Black Rifle Coffee, not Blackout Coffee. That's a different one. Black Rifle Coffee. And I got some of their dark roast, and man, it's like gasoline with extra octane in it.
Dude, I'm gonna have to get that. I legitimately am, because anytime, like where you support veterans, man, I'm all about that life. Like, let's go. So looks like I'm gonna have to buy the coffee from now on. That's it. Let's go.
All right. Well, we got both halves of the Spurgis family here. Jason's watching too. Thank you, Jason, for watching, and thank you for doing the driving and letting the wife do the typing. This is Striking. She catches me typing all the time while I'm driving. Anyway, what I was trying to say, Pedro, on BTC here, when we joke about it's the we're gonna get the T-shirt that says first it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, and I personally don't think it's gone down enough yet. I think it's gonna go down a little bit more and do maybe like a little cup and handle thing if on your chart there or something like that. And it's gonna go up. But I was comparing this to some of the other projects, specifically ones we spoke about yesterday. And a lot of times I sit up here and I joke about it and I say, man, it's no way I can go that low. There's too much buying. And then I turned out to be quite wrong. Can it goes that low? So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, okay, what if I'm not wrong this time? And then 3 or 4 different projects that I follow that I'm not going to talk about their names, but you've brought their charts up and said, nah, they're going to go down to here. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if they do, that ruins my portfolio. It doesn't ruin it. It just gives it that, darn it, I needed it to do the other way, just to, so it can go closer to the moon every day and not down. And I'm thinking about the protections to hedge against that. Not necessarily like I want to go buy some options and stuff like that. So I thought I'd bring this topic up. If you know the market is going to go down in crypto, I'm not talking about in CME futures and that type of stuff, or I mean futures in oil and gold and that type of stuff, but in what we talk about here.
Yes.
You're like, no, the charts are really saying everything's going to come back down to some level. What is your method for hedging against that? Just sell outright and be done with it, or buy something else that's a contraindicator or something like that?
Well, a couple things. One, I don't buy high.
It's true. It's true. Let's assume you're already in a position and you see it starting to do the downward cycle.
Oh, well, I've already made part of my initial profit, most likely.
Right.
And then after that, I will take off, like I said, probably 60% of it. And then as it comes down and it starts to, goes below, I've already made, like I said, probably a 2-3x. So 60% of it is already pocket. If I like that project, if that project has a major community that is just like almost a fanatic, like Jim Jones fanaticism. Okay.
Remember, everyone died there, Pedro. Maybe not be a good example.
That's exactly what I want. I want people who will die buying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to
welcome Crypto Mike to the house.
What up, Mikey? It's good to see you, Mikey. That's what I want to see. I want to see people like on the VC 24/7 saying, "I love this. I'm gonna tattoo this on my chest. I'm gonna have my girl shake this in her head." Like, I want to see fanaticism to the point where they're almost ready to make a religion out of that coin. If I see something like that, I'll leave my money in it, and that's a good day. Okay? But if I don't see that, most likely people are going to, like, that's safe moon status, right? Like, it's like, okay, that thing's going to the moon. People are legit.
No, not safe moon. That's safe, new word moon.
Yes. Well, what I'm saying is the idea when Safe Moon first came to market, how people were just in it to win.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are talking about the old Safe Moon.
Yes.
Oh, I thought
the original time when it first started.
Mm-hmm.
When people were just like, before it lost all the craziness happened. But when I see something like that, first of all, that's when I leave my money in. But if I don't see that, okay, I'll wait for it where I expect it to come back down to. Right. And I'm looking for it. I'm looking where initial buyers stepped in, so that when those initial buyers really stepped in at, I can go in, and because that most likely they're going to buy more at those levels. Right. So I'll take some of the profit that I made and then put a little bit in it. And then I'm buying literally 10 times more at a smaller amount, right, with less money. So.
All right, well, that didn't flesh out like I thought. I'm trying to come up with other than becoming a registered broker or whatever and getting a proper CME futures account. I'm trying to figure out the best way to. I mean, one of the ways that I hedge against the down market is just, and this is leading conversation later in the show, is just going to Robinhood and buying some puts on MicroStrategy. If the crypto market's going down, MicroStrategy stock is going down. Buy some puts. Remember, just for those of you that are not familiar with it, in the options market, if you're betting on everything going up, you buy calls. And if you're betting on it going down, you buy puts. And obviously, there's 8,000 nuances and variations to that. And you can sell them. You can sell them naked. You can sell them covered, blah, 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 blah. But just the general idea, call means betting on up. Put means betting on down. And so Not to say that I'm planning on talking about a big down market. That's not the point. The point is, I was trying to flesh out when your portfolio's up, but you start to see the market swoon a little bit. What's the best way to protect against that?
So basically, like you said, if you can short against the market, one, if you can actually go through and buy, let's say you're in meme coin, right? Try to see if there's another meme coin that's mooning. I mean, unfortunately, that's because we're dealing with meme coins here. It's not like we're dealing with overall market. It's not like I'm sitting there like, hey, if Solana's pumping, right, and AVAX isn't, it's a good time to be buying the AVAX. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's selling off, because what happens? You see money leaving, going to one, and then most likely it's going to funnel back when it drops off, because AVAX is a major 10 coin. If we're dealing meme coin, bro, and I've actually talked to a few like Doge chain. I told the guy, I said, you know what? You know how you can actually short against your meme coin is you pair it. And then what happens is you have you tell the company or you tell the group who sets up, look, we're going to allow people to short against you. But when people short against you, it's once it sells out, people are done shorting, it's going to pump you because they got to buy that back. And so what you do is you have people come in, they put money in it,
right,
and then they pair it against your coin. And then what happens? You're able to go long and short on those meme coins. And it would actually help out quite a bit. Actually put the bottom in versus just a free fall. And he was like, that's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. And like Kronos created his own chain. And I was talking to him about doing that as well. I was like, bro, think about doing this. Because, dude, I would trade that all day long. Like, if I could short, dude, like, I would. And here's the thing. You think it's a bad thing, but it's not. It puts in a base. It puts a real bottom in. Like a fat booty bottom. Get like a bubble butt. I'm telling you what I'm talking about.
All right, let's switch over and talk briefly about the topic of the day. I'm going to take over the screen here, and then we'll get back into some charts and news and stuff like that in a minute. But one of the things that I always follow, and I participate in a group called Swiss Asset DAO. It has something to do with real-world asset tokenization, which with the yields coming out on the U.S. Treasuries right now, guaranteed to be about 5% or whatever they are. Almost nobody wants to tokenize anything else because you can get guaranteed income on U.S. Treasuries. And so not much is going on in that market. So people are like, well, we can get make all this free money from the U.S. government. Why do we need to do anything else? And so that market is cool. But what market is starting to sizzle? And I was thinking about that, and the word tokenize is synonymous with securitize. And you're packaging something else, securitizing it in a new investment vehicle, and selling it. And recently, as I call it, blockchains win in the thumbnail for today. It says blockchains win, stocks are tokenized. And Bitcoin wallet Exodus, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Exodus, but it's a full service wallet that few degens use, but a lot of larger professional institutional groups use it. And they went public and sold $75 million in shares. Think about, and I dropped this, you know what, I forgot. I was going to drop the link in Dive Wallet's room today. I forgot about it. But imagine Dive Wallet, little group of people here on the old Telegram here, put together their own wallet, and all of a sudden they can go public for $75 million. That's what Bitcoin, what Exodus did. And Exodus then said, all right, literally to the SEC, they said, we're going public, but we're not going to use any of the institutional investors like UBS or JP Morgan or anybody like that to be to do our roadshow and to do the going public part of it. We are going to sell the shares directly from our wallet, and you can only buy them with Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, and I don't know, a couple other stable coins of some sort. And you're not going to get any shares. Nope, you're going to get tokens that you can have in your wallet and trade without going to a stock exchange, without going anywhere else. And I was like, I saw this article yesterday, and I'm like, finally, this is happening. and it eliminates. You can trade stock now without having to go to any stock market. Now, obviously, there's always they have over-the-counters and pink sheets and all this type of stuff. Plenty of places to trade stocks the old school way, but never as easy as picking up your phone wallet and just going, I'm going to send my stock to Pedro here, boop, like that.
Simple.
We can, Pedro and I can either work out a deal offline to trade the stock, or we can invariably probably within 10 minutes, there's going to be a stock swap group like PancakeSwap or Uniswap, or maybe even those groups will allow you to swap them directly to eliminate any risk of not getting paid for them. And it'll revolutionize stock trading. I shouldn't say revolutionize. I should say it will add another tool to bring a lot more people into the daily trading of it,
efficiency,
and to bring FOMO into the stock market, which can be a good thing. Obviously, if you're a company that just went public, you want people to FOMO in all you want.
Bro, 10,000x stock.
Right.
Freaking A, bro. It's like you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, I just bought this stock, big booty bottom Pedro's floor, and bro, I bought in when it was 100,000, man, and now it's sitting at 500 mil, bro. We just did a 10,000x, like yeah, bro, like that would be awesome. Dude, that would be. Oh, you saw it. Yeah. Yo, the first thing I said, I was like, bro, that tan looked good on you, man.
Oh, yeah. I don't even have usually I have my camera software up to change the white balance so I don't look like a white ghost here. But today I didn't even have to do it. I'm tan and I got a nice reflection off the shiny forehead here. Changed up my lighting. But exactly. It introduces FOMO into it. And so I'm real excited about it because a lot more people will be able to do this. You'll be able to start your own company. And let's remember, the talk about dealing with the SEC could be 10,000 hours of shows and frustrations. In fact, today I talked to Patrick Dougherty, and he wants to come back on the show to talk about lots of things.
Patty, come on back, brother.
It won't be until June, but he wants to come back. I know. But anyway,
stock. We're talking about stocks,
totally.
and the easy with the SEC not bothering us, and I know they're a pain in the butt, but are you there? Come on, senior. Come on, grandpa.
I got it. I remember.
Okay, there we go.
There is a way in which you have to go through the SEC. One way, the full-blown registration takes a while, costs a lot of money. Then there's also the simple way when you're still a small group and you're under so many investors. So you can actually offer shares to the public if it's under like 2,000 investors or something like that without doing the full-blown SEC thing. And obviously, don't quote me, don't do anything. I don't know my ass from the hole in the ground regarding the SEC. But I do know a little bit. And so small projects can get started, offer shares to the public via the app, or via a wallet directly to people, and get things going. That way, raise money legitimately, in a real way, raise fiat, raise stable coins without doing pre-sales or any crap like that. And while they're, doing the full SEC registration, anticipating having more than 2,000 investors. And so it's going to change the way money is raised for traditional companies, which is good. It is very good in this type of stuff. And I'm like, it's about time. God, I'm like, finally, the U.S. is having a little innovation. Yes. And then one of my friends from mentioned Swiss asset DAO intentionally reminded me, Switzerland passed a law 3 years ago that allows this. And I'm like, yeah, of course. But anyway, on that note, the interesting thing is that when I'm going to bring up my, let's see, it's this company here. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it correctly. It's just not going to happen. Actionariat. They're Swiss. They speak Swiss German, so most of their videos nobody can understand them except the Swiss Germans. Even the Germans are like, that version of German is tough. But anyway, 51 companies tokenized.
51 legit.
Right. All these companies here, as I can't see, I don't know if I'm sharing my screen properly. Yeah,
No, I can see
all
it,
these
yeah.
companies, Boss, Farmy, Real Units, Vice, Carnu, it just, they just go, they go on, and all of these companies, you can just literally buy their stock on your crypto wallet. Obviously, you have to have a supported crypto wallet, and I haven't researched that. Maybe everyone just magically supports them. But all of these companies have raised money directly from people without going through the traditional banking system or the traditional IPO system. And if this is just Switzerland, this is just Crypto Valley in Switzerland, a bunch of companies going public. Wait till this thing gets going in the U.S. I mean, it's going to be this many companies every 5 minutes. I mean,
I was gonna say, dude,
Yeah.
like, because there's a thing. All of a sudden, the what do you call the coffee company, right? That went through
Black Rifle
and-
Coffee.
Yeah, dude, they'll be able to sit there without having to do any craziness and say, "All right, guys, we need to raise some capital." And dude, a million investors are gonna sit there and say, "Here you go, bro. We want to support you." Versus having to go through and then having to deal with the setting up a brokerage account and then having to fine you.
Thank
and
you,
then
Splash.
Dude, the red tape that goes along with trying to buy a pink sheet on a just started company, right? Like, that's such a pain. And dude, and this would be so simple. It'd be easy. No, go ahead. I just totally jumped in.
No, that's all right. It's all right. While you're doing that, I was looking for a message from somebody else regarding this topic who I'd asked about. But anyway, the whole point of this was for those of you watching the show or listening to it and all that. I like to bring these other topics up rather than our typical meme token talk or what's going on with this thing, because it's an interesting topic and it's going to affect how many of you invest in things in the future. Simply because you don't have to call your broker. Obviously, there's apps, Schwab. There's a million apps that trade stocks and that type of stuff. But many of you are in crypto because you want to get ahead of the game here, and also because you're entrepreneurs. The crypto. In talking with everybody I know here, so many people, more than average, are entrepreneurs or want to be one but can't because of their financial situation. And if you're going about starting a project, you got to think about, if you're coming to us from Europe, get a hold of this company. If you're in the U.S., you just got to keep bugging the U.S. regulators to we're chipping away at it here in the U.S. And things like this will be possible, and you'll be able to raise money from your company completely legally, easily, and without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the legal process, which is the barrier to entry for many of these companies, because the easiest way to get a company going is to know a billionaire and say, "Hey, can I borrow $1 million?" And what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to start a company that it does this. It's brand new.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to do it. Guy gives you $1 billion and he calls you in a year, good or bad, and you go, it was okay. Hey, can I have another million? And they're like, okay, here. But most people don't have access to capital markets. Most people don't have access to friends with billions of dollars or millions of dollars that trust them with their money. And most people don't have the couple $100,000 to petition the SEC and to do all this type of stuff first, and then spend money on developing their product, or the other way around. And so things like this make all of these things easier for everybody. Obviously, there'll be some unintended consequences that we haven't thought about yet, as markets always develop new ways of doing things. Not always good. But anyway, this stuff is coming. And if you're an entrepreneur out here, I highly suggest bugging your senator, your House of Representatives, and in Canada, your local MPP if you're in Ontario, or your MP if you are in for the federal guys, to say, hey, this is good for investors, this is good for entrepreneurs, and this is a good deal. So I wanted to bring that topic up today to talk about it.
I also want to just, when you were...
Drano says, let me borrow $1 million so I can put it on NetC. There we go.
There we go.
That's called leverage, my friend.
I think what's interesting is when you consider this idea behind what's actually happening within crypto. The fact is that you are seeing a legitimization. That's a real word, legitimization, legitimacy of crypto as we progress, right? Like it's one of those it's one of those things that when you start to see real companies start to get big, like small companies,
So
like okay,
we are going to run.
Sorry.
it's all right. When you start to see companies go through and start to make like, oh, dude, how did they get big so quick? What happened? And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, they did it through tokenization versus the traditional way. And they do. All of a sudden, you're just going to see companies that I'm trying to do this. They'll raise capital that way, and then from there, you'll see a similar situation of what happened with crypto. And back in 2017, in 2012, the previous bull markets, right? And I think we'll even have a completely different segment of literally the stock market for this, right? So for those companies to get going, and you'll go through and be able to check out the pink sheets and be able to trade those quickly.
Yep.
I just think it's kind of cool.
Let me before we move on to another topic, let me hit this one news story I wanted to talk about. I was just looking for it, but I couldn't. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The SEC really can't stand crypto. You know, I rant about Gary Gensler now and then, don't you, Pedro? Every once in a while, he just gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Well, yeah. Gary, in his infinite wisdom, has said, hey, we're going to sue Robinhood for securities violations.
Shocking.
Right. The Securities and Exchange Commission continues an anti-crypto crusade. This time, Robinhood is in its crosshairs, according to Opening Bell Daily News. This is the best part. It warned Robinhood on Monday, but via Wells notice, that it could face enforcement action for its digital asset business. It would be the agency's 7th crypto lawsuit in the 3 months. And this is the SEC's website here. SEC versus Goisen Mining, SEC versus Sanchez, Shapeshift, matter of TradeStation Crypto, Rockwell Capital Management, Barnbridge, Matter of the World, blah, blah, Kraken, SEC, Safe Moon, Kraken. Woodbury, Halverson, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. Even Lufkin Advisors. Lufkin's one of the biggest groups out there. Stoner Cats. That was last year. But anyway, what we got to talk about here, to Gensler, crypto is much of a headache to regulators as it is a risk to investors. He's staunch in his belief that the same rules governing stocks and bonds should also regulate crypto. On his watch, SEC has sent Wells notices to Coinbase, Uniswap, Kraken, MetaMask. And the chief legal officer for a group called Variant Funds says the SEC allocates a grossly disproportionate amount of its resources to crypto, given that its actual purpose is to regulate equity and debt markets. Let's think about that for a minute. What's the market cap of crypto?
I think 3 trillion right now.
Yeah, something like that. 2.3 trillion.
Yeah.
2.8, whatever it is. That's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. How much goes through the equity markets and debt markets a day in trades?
Oh, I think it's 500
trillion.
Billion.
Yeah, something. No, whatever it is, it's a massive number. It's a massive number, and the market caps of all the equity markets and derivative markets are, frankly, in the quadrillions or something like that. Or some outlandish number. And there's way more scams, malfeasance, deceit, fraud in all of those markets than there is in the entire. Like, if someone rug pulled the entire crypto market tomorrow, just said, okay, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, whoop, gone. That's nothing compared to the fraud in the rest of the market. And Gensler is using so much of the SEC resources to go for this little group here. It really is amazing. But here, this is what I wanted and why I brought up Patrick Doherty earlier.
Mr. Doherty.
Let's see. The move against Robinhood does seem like a head scratcher. according to Joel Rosen's article here. The company has walked a regulatory tightrope and gone through extensive steps to avoid breaking compliance. 3 years ago, Robin began a lengthy process to register as a special purpose broker-dealer, which the SEC signaled was necessary. Then, after more than a year, authorities dismissed Robinhood and said nothing would come of its efforts to secure the proper license. And now the SEC is suing them for what? For not having the proper license, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Dan Gallagher, Robinhood's legal chief, said the company has spent years in constant communication with the SEC to make sure the offerings were above the board. We firmly believe the assets listed on our platform are not securities, and we are looking forward to engaging with the SEC. I might add that Dan Gallagher, the chief legal officer for the SEC, used to be a commissioner for the SEC. I don't mean just an attorney. It used to be a commissioner. Not the head commissioner, but a commissioner. So, as you can see, if you have one former commissioner saying, trying to go through the process, someone who knows exactly what you need to do to go through the process, and the new guy says, get out. And then comes around and says, we're going to sue you because you didn't come in. It's almost like the courts Congress needs to step in and say, we need to get Gensler out of there and impeach him.
Bullying people.
Yeah, literally bullying people.
Yeah, literally.
And I frankly, I think, as you've heard me rant against Gensler about him wanting to be the man, this is part of that. And two, they're probably just, I'm guessing they're trying to sue as many people so they can just get large settlements. Because if you recall, when the CF, the Commodities Futures Exchange Commission, or whatever, Commodities Futures Trading Commission, sues people and wins and gets settlements, that money goes back into the U.S. Treasury directly. When the SEC sues and wins and gets settlements, it goes into the SEC's budget. So it's a very big conflict of interest for that. In fact, Rodrigo on Twitter says, SEC continues its carpet bombing campaign against crypto, issuing another Wells notice to Robinhood. You have to wonder whether at this point Gensler has bit off more than he can chew. Robinhood's chief legal officer is a former SEC commissioner appointed by President Obama. Really, really just amazing. Amazing. So Robinhood, we're on your side. Trino's in super shill mode today, ladies and gentlemen. Start a meme coin on Netsy called Fuck Gensler. It's like the Elizabeth Warren one. I'm sorry, I called the author Joel Rosen earlier. It's Phil Rosen. Sorry about that, Phil. Thanks for letting me talk about your article here.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Anyway, that was the news for today. We got a smaller crowd than normal here at Pedro. We got the Tuesday blues. I guess. So maybe it's time to start talking about what else is going on in the market.
Well, I think some of the news also to bring up, and I mean, just so you know, and we'll go over it. It's just, I was shocked about, again, like, and I don't mean to bring this up again, kind of beat a dead horse, but the fact is that Warren Buffett is sitting back and just holding on to cash is something that's interesting within the market, because as we start to move forward in this, in crypto, and as we start to see a real sign of the SEC looking like a joke for what they're doing, two, as we start to progress and see tokenization of stocks, right, we are going to see a merge of a merge of crypto kind of filling in and moving kind of similar to the stock market. Right now, it's been kind of doing its own thing and kind of chilling, but we can see as it moves forward, it could definitely be a what's the word I want to use? An indicator of what potential moves that could be happening. Much like I look at the Russell 2000 and how it kind of notifies me if things are really weak. So just really interesting as we keep moving forward. Let's jump back into the Ethereum and BNB. Now, BNB has actually been really interesting.
Oh,
because we're at, yep. So here's BNB, and BNB has been pretty interesting simply because every time it sells off, we do see some major buying stepping in, and they've stayed above this weekly 8-period moving average, which is a good sign. And so it's really interesting to sit there and see if if Bitcoin really starts to rally, I see BNB a good position for us to actually get in on. So if we see, and every time we've hit our demand zone at this level, we've really bounced back. So this area here, I would love for it to come back down to that 441, but it might not just come back down there. So I'm looking at these lower levels here if it comes back down to really buy in, because every time it does, what do we see? We see the market really rally. So that's an interesting
Welcome P2P movement. Thanks for joining us with the reward token.
BNB. Let's check out XRP. XRP is still looking like what it normally has been doing here. Just kind of going sideways. We're staying in between these moving averages, sitting at like that 57 mark area to about the 48 mark area, just kind of going sideways for the last few weeks.
I was just reading an article about called zombie blockchains, meaning why do they even exist? And one of them was XRP, and the comment was, 10 years ago when they started, they're like, oh, we can revolutionize the SWIFT system and interbanking will take seconds instead of eliminate all the hassles with it. And in the comments in the section were, still haven't eliminated any hassles with the banking system, and lots of new products have happened. So the question is, why do they even exist? Same with Stellar. Stellar was the guy that founded Stellar. He was a co-founder of Ripple. Just disagreed with those guys and came up with his own. And they have a massive treasury because they their token went boom earlier and they cashed out a bunch of it and all that type of stuff. And them too. Like, why does this even exist? It's 10 years ago, great ideas, but 10 years in crypto and in innovation, where free innovation. I mean, unrestricted innovation. 10 years is like 6 centuries in real life, and so many new products, so many new ways, so many new laws, regulations, etc. Blah blah blah. Why does XRP even exist? And I know I'll get hate from the XRPers out there, but there's I don't see it.
I that's one of the things that needs to change in crypto, is that people do like there's a religious ferocity to a it's a religion to them. I mean, it really is. If people look at it like a religion, and they sit there and they want to hold on to these because they're really hoping, right? Like they've got made a lot of money. Like the worst thing you could do is see a project make a ton of money and then like see it go down, because then you're like, it just might do it again. There's that hopium of like, oh, I've seen myself at $100,000 within this, right? So it's one of those things. I have a guy at my church who talks about XRP and he's huge on it. And the guy's a financial advisor and gets it. But I looked at him, I've said, have you paid attention to much of crypto? And he goes, what do you mean? I go, dude, XRP is a dinosaur. I mean, they're doing a lot of cool things and regarding the lawsuits, and they're really paving the way. But as an actual tech itself, there's a lot of other companies out there that do the same thing, if not better, and have a better system. They just, and so he kind of looked at me, he goes, you don't know what you're talking about. And I go, okay. Like, I'm not, because he was literally has this religious ideology on it, and he's just like, he can't hear anything outside of it. So it's just, I just think it's really interesting with where we're sitting at.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have had 36 people tuning into us on X today. Thank you, those of you that are watching. I realize a lot of you have come and gone, but hopefully there's a bunch of you sticking with us. We tend to have nice conversations here. If you want to drop over onto our YouTube stream, just go over to YouTube. If you found me in Twitter, you'll have a link to our Twitter stream also, or our YouTube stream also. But come on over to the YouTube channel because that's monetized, and if we get more views, all is better over here. But also to participate in the discussion, because the comments work better on YouTube and all that type of stuff. Thank you for joining us from X Video Spaces, X Live. I don't know what they're calling it when you broadcast with video anymore. It's getting better. It's getting better on X. It's still the view, like here on YouTube, we get people average about a half hour of watching, which is amazing that someone would spend a half hour watching Pedro and I ramble on. And on X for ages it was about 8 seconds. It's just like, watch these guys. Nope, need stupid videos. Blah 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 blah. But it's creeping up. It's creeping up as people get used to watching longer form videos on X. So it's good. So thank you all for joining us. Don't just watch it in your feed. Click the words underneath, and it'll open up a separate window which has the comment section on it. And you can, even if you continue scrolling for your useless meme videos on the crapper, you still can listen to us and or comment. So thank you.
Yes, please do come on over, hang out with us, so we can mess with you and make fun of you, and you make fun of us.
Oh, see, this is the problem with, I commented over there, and it doesn't bring over the comment correctly.
Yeah, they're fighting with each other. Google, you have X fighting with Facebook, and literally. So I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
Chuck says the crapper comment of the day. There's always one, because it's an easy laugh, isn't it? Any comment
like
about that part of the bathroom, is an easy laugh.
It is.
It's like having a fart machine. You're just gonna laugh. It's gonna happen.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine. He goes, in the guy world, man, we laugh about it a lot. And it's like, pull my finger or whatever, right? The women world, man, they look at it, it's like atrocious. I was like, come on, yo, laughing up. It's always funny. No, so it all depends what gender I feel like. Unless I'm wrong and our viewers want to call me out and say, you're wrong, Pedro. You're wrong. We love laughing at farting jokes. Anyways, so let's check back out here with the market here. XRP again is kind of going sideways here. Let's check out ADA here. Cardano is sitting at this demand zone like I've been talking about forever. We've seen this sell off here, so it's just nice. This was a nice little setup here from the last month.
Fade. Get that coffee, Pedro.
Bro, I need to get that coffee. Yeah. But you can see here that we're seeing a nice little bounce. We're back in these areas that I talked about for me to want to buy. And I'm just kind of waiting here right now to see if it's going to go down lower. We did put in a lower high or a higher low here, but we didn't put in a higher high. So I'm expecting to see it come back down to that 35-cent mark area, even potential the 24-cent mark. So we'll see what happens there. But right now we're sitting about that 45 cent. If Bitcoin starts to drop off, I expect to see this baby come down to these lower levels. Dogecoin had a bit of a resurgence over the last few days, or excuse me, over last week with some of the comments that actually Elon made. But what
did he pipe up about?
Just Elon. But the reason why I'm saying this is the fact is that it did put in a higher high here, which is more important to me, right? At this level.
What is, I can't see the numbers. What is the price of Doge right now?
Oh, I forgot. The price of Doge right now is sitting at 15 cents. So we saw it come all the way down, almost hitting our demand zone at 11 cent area here. And then it saw some rally, and it did come into an area of where there's a lot of buyers. So for me, sitting here, seeing us hit this area, and then rallying hard, right, is something that if we come back down into that 13 mark, and I start to see another volume spike at these levels as we come back down, yeah, there's real buyers sitting here, and so I'm going to be looking to be buying at that lower level. Like I said, I've been kind of expecting us to come back further. But especially Doge still being connected to Elon, and the fact is that he's talked about using it. He wants to use it and do some stuff with it. I don't think we've seen the last of innovation for Doge, so it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens there. Solana had a nice little pickup and push over the last few weeks or last few days. It came back down from the 119 area. We're seeing a tap about that 150 mark area. I'd love to see this come back down further. Now, this right here, as we're this rally, I'm not seeing a lot of buying pressure pushing up as we continue up. And I'm not seeing, in addition to that, hardly any real demand wicks as we're moving up. So I would expect us to see at least come back down to a retracement of the 133 area and test these lows here before, if it is going to continue higher.
What was their high there? Was it 200 and something?
Yeah, it was 210.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it retraced so much. I mean, obviously people wanted to take profits. You see that long period of consolidation there down in the doldrums at $10, $20. A lot of people bought in there. And right where your cursor is right where I said these guys suck. I didn't say these guys suck. What I said was that the Solana Foundation didn't protect Solana from being overinvested in by FTX, and as a result, when FTX went down, that's when Solana really lost it. Right back over here somewhere, and then of course, and I knew it like the back of my hand, that once the FTX bankruptcy thing cleared up, the Solana would boom, and I didn't buy it, and I should have, and I didn't, and it goes from 8 to 200.
Well, you don't want to know something interesting though. It's like, all right, so now we're seeing a lot of this stuff happening right now, right? Where the markets are potentially moving, coming up into this bull market. But I do expect to see some type of sell-off. And I'm wondering, how far is this sell-off going to go? Right? Because normally we come and test the lows.
Ka-ching's in the house.
And this is where, like, I'm really trying to gauge, like, are we about, I mean, is this thing going to drop, right? Like, I don't think we'll see it come down to 16, 15, but I'm saying like potential 92, maybe $50 Solana before it really pushes up, because I mean, in all reality, we didn't have that sell-off that we normally do. So part of me thinks that maybe we have something coming that we just don't know yet, you know?
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, you know, and if I am, whatever, but I typically am not. So, you know, I like to be wrong. But for me, I'm still haven't really bought a ton, you know, of a bunch of stuff going on here. I still haven't sat there and said, you know, I'm gonna keep buying, because I do think that we're going lower, right? But in the meantime, you can still take profits of, you know, buying and pushing up and then selling off. So this is where we would play. As a resistant level, we've got that 50 period moving average sitting at that 162 area. So it's going to take a lot for us to really push through. And the fact is, that's almost getting ready for it to sell off down to these lower levels here. So I'm not too bullish until we get above that 50 period moving average with volume. So that's pretty much, and that's the gray line sitting right here at the 162 area. If you look at Litecoin was in the news too as well. They hit some I forget
what could possibly have gone right with Litecoin.
Well, here's the thing though. It was a completion of some of the stuff they have going on, and it was another organization decided to incorporate the Lightning Network into their project, which was a pretty big deal. So I thought, and I read through the article. I should have went through, and tomorrow, actually, when we go on live tomorrow, I'll find that article. But they had a little bit of volume come in from it, so it's gonna be really interesting to see as it starts to progress, see what that project's going to do. So also let's check out the TRX. Now this is one of the guys that I like.
I hold on, I'm having a brain lapse. What is it? Tron? No, what's TRX?
Yeah, Tron. Yep. Yeah. Tron is one of those ones that, what do you call? It's like the little internet
Ghostbusters.
Code, I feel like Ghostbusters. dun, dun, you know, it just got me off.
Going
Dude,
across the
speaking-
beams. Why? Imagine all the molecules exploding at the molecules in your body exploding at the speed of light. Is that bad? That's bad.
That's bad.
My favorite lines from that movie.
But on a side note of body exploding, we could see this coin come back down. If it comes back down to these lower levels of the 9 cent, 8 cent area, it's a good buy area for me. And I think they're a good company. I think they got a lot. I think Justin Tron is really trying to be innovative and do more. He's got so many transactions happening on Tron. It's like I think it's one of like a sleeping gem because a lot of the transactions, and they haven't really had many meme coins on there. So it's not like you're seeing a bunch of meme coin push on there. So I think sooner or later you're gonna see some meme pushing on this one sooner or later, just because the transaction speed and everything correlates with it. Matic. Now let's check out Matic, bro. Matic had a major sell-off.
Oh, this drives me nuts.
Oh, how so?
Because our sponsor, one of our channel sponsors here, Audit Chain, is based on Matic.
Oh, yeah.
Right when they're getting ready after 7 years of preparing for this. After 7 years of preparing to launch, right when they go to do it, the market just totally takes a dump on them. Just and now obviously they have real products, like real world type stuff. They're not based on I mean, they don't really care what the price is, but there's a lot of people in the project that do, and like me. And it's just like, ugh. And it hurts the liquidity of their token because it's weak anyway. But anyway, it's just one of those things that drives me nuts. But anyway, go on with Matic. Talk about the technical issues with that.
Well, here's the thing. It's coming down to an area where you have a lot of buyers. So the fact is that we came in, we put a higher high here. It will sell off, but it's looking to, like, from a technical standpoint, I'm looking at this going, dude, this area right here, that 57 mark area, is a clean buy for me. Like this right here is a clean buy of at least seeing it pop from 58,000 ish, or excuse me, not 58,000, but 57, 51 area to at least going back up to test the highs of last year. So this would be one of those ones that you could sit there and see in the next bull run, or when the bull run really starts to take off. That, I mean, get up to $3 easy.
$3 on Matic would make my life so much better. I could actually pay a lot of bills on time. That would be nice. Let's see. If there is a gentleman from the Cupcake group called Chris Liquin watching, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to having you on our show.
Oh, nice. And speaking of our show, has anybody watched the gala, or is the gala, the Met Gala thing?
The Met Gala, the big thing in New York with all the crazy outfits and stuff.
Yeah, did you see that stuff? Are you seeing like a lot of the like?
I didn't see it this year,
bro. So I'm sitting there talking to a friend of mine, and she is just like, she loves this stuff. I mean, she eats this up. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, that's the first time I've ever known anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. I was like, what's a gala? Like, they're like, well, people get together and they dress up and then you got to pay a lot of money. And I said, did you go? She goes, no, I can't go. I don't got the money. And I was like, what is this? And so I went and looked it up, and I was like, this is crazy. And so I guess my feed, for whatever reason, like Kim Kardashian looked all super weird. And so, like, it's all I see is Kim Kardashian this, Kim Kardashian that. And it was like, bro, why are y'all tripping about her, man? You know? But anyways, that's a side note. Anyways, that's a...
I've obviously have spent time in the New York area. I'm from the East Coast and all that. And the Met Gala went from, back in the day, a collection of kind of celebrities raising money for an event, into this crazy thing that if you're not on the list, you are nobody. So the celebrities are stabbing each other in the back to get tickets and all that. And then they started with the crazy outfits to one-up one another. And now it's like, like Lady Gaga arriving in the suit of meat, or some, strange things like that. But it's definitely one of the first world problems, as they call it, of New York City. It's definitely.
I don't get it, bro.
Hey, when you're a wealthy celebrity, when we're wealthy
celebrities,
what are your problems in life, right? Your problems in life are what? None. Zero. There's no problems.
No, how do I raise enough money so that I can take care of the water issue in Africa?
Right.
Okay. That's
Space Cat, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. As always, ladies and gentlemen, Space Cat, our guest from Kanukistan. One of our guests from Kanukistan.
Yes. What up, brother? So I think this is really interesting as we just keep progressing here. Our plight in our society right now. I just don't. It makes my stomach turn sometimes when I think about this craziness. Like sad, like seriously sad.
All right, hold on a sec.
Anyways, so. And I don't get the Met Gala. I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I know they raise a lot of money, which is cool, but like all the hoopla behind it and like people, I just don't. I guess I never understood that stuff in high school too. Like when or college, when these people would get together and they'd have those little like stuff. I was like, why? Like, what's the point? But I don't know. Maybe my mind just doesn't work that way. Why don't we just all look at charts and have fun and try to make money, so let's check out DOT. DOT hit our area here.
The Department of Transportation?
Yeah, that's exactly what
exactly.
Yeah. Dottie came down and hit our area here. We saw a bit of a bounce, but it's putting in a little low here. So this concerns me. This little, the higher low here, or lower.
Dar, baby, welcome to the house. Howdy.
That'd be a lower high here. So I'm expecting us to see even another sell-off. If we see a sell-off within Bitcoin, I expect to see DOT come back down to this 5.3, 483 area for a nice little buy.
I just forgot I don't have your screen up. Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro's talking about charts, and his screen isn't up. Someone remind me.
Oh, yeah, that would be. Well, I'm looking at us right now on the DYOR studio, and I see my chart up.
Yeah, by the time you looked at it, I had fixed it.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Move on. So I'm seeing, let's jump back then here to Matic here real quick. So Matic here, as you guys can see, like I talked about earlier, we came back down, almost hit our
Wait, DOT or Matic? You were back to Matic.
I'm back to Matic because I don't know if they were able to see it. So we sold off, came down to our demand zone here, and we saw it kind of push up. This all depends on if we see a sell-off, we put a higher high or a higher low in, is what I want to see before we see another push up with Matic here. So for me, that would make a lot more sense to me to really buy in, because we did put higher high in, and now I want to see a higher low, and now you start to put in that nice little, what's the word I want to use? Like showing me that the buyers are stepping in. That's
Pedro, right over my shoulder here are these two green lines. What are those bands?
Oh, let's jump back. These green bands right here are where I have.
I'm sorry. What's the price on it? What's the number?
Oh, that's 57.13 to 51.
All right, I can see that with Matic. I can see that happening.
And if it does come back down there, man, I mean that's the scream and buy for me, because again, we've already seen base buyers step in, push in, come back down, push up. So I would love to see some type of just bullishness stepping at these lower levels to really say, all right, now it's time to buy. Let's check out. I think we went over Dottie already.
Yep.
Let's look at AVAX. AVAX really played off our zone here, and then made a little bit of a position up, but now we sold off. Let me delete this now. Boom, boom. And so I'm expecting to see AVAX potentially, again, this put in a higher high, but not with a lot of volume here. So I expect to see AVAX, if Bitcoin really starts to drop, potentially the next real area is to come down to that $21, $20 area. So that would be a nice little buy area for me. Let's check out Shiba. Shiba came back. Shibaroo, Shiba Inu, Bone. What else?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Swifties, yeah.
Taylor's version.
Swifties.
Swifties.
Mr. Beast, aka. What's up?
What's the Swift's new album? Something poets, tortured poets or something.
Tortured poets. I don't pay attention to her. I think I actually like her earlier music, like when she first started, when she was kind of like country. She has good lyrics. I thought she had decent lyrics.
All I know is that you're only allowed to say good things about her because otherwise you have 400 million people, all in the ages of between 10 and 22, that are women that hate you.
I'm okay with that. I don't mind women hating me.
I don't want 400 million of them hating you because you're going to walk into one of them and they're going to be like, oh, it's you!
Oh, no. They wouldn't be able to recognize me, though. I mean, the pictures I've given you are so old, bro. They could be like, they wouldn't even be able to sit there and... I'm super careful now, dude. Super careful to let me get pictures taken of me and posted. I actually had a friend of mine who posted a picture of me. I said, take that off, bro, or I'm gonna report it to Facebook. And he's just like, what? Why? I go, because
you're an internet celebrity now here as the PA guy here. So
probably not. I mean, that's probably
just yesterday. Natasha said, when are you gonna get a better picture of Pedro?
Not. You know what scares me is when we get together and all of a sudden, and we got to do the live show in Toronto.
People are gonna be like, who's that guy?
They're like, now I see. I had a friend of mine tell me, he goes, your voice doesn't meet your face.
You got a face for radio.
And it was the opposite of it. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter. But either way, I just thought it was funny because I was like, oh man, you're right. I was talking about it. Anyways, let's go back here to SHIB. So SHIB came down to our area here. And this is a weak daily demand zone. The fact is, as you guys can see here, that we put a lower high in and then a higher low here. And now it looks like it's turning around again. So I would expect to see SHIB come back down if it can't stay above the 100 period moving average, which is sitting at the 402.
Yep.
It's most likely then going to sell off down to these lower levels here, which is going to, and Zach is not going to like this. Sorry, Zach. Mr. Humphreys, my bad, brother, but that thing's coming down to 401-ish. There's nothing there. There's nothing here on the daily chart saying that we're going to see it. I mean, the maybe this right here, which would be 1-1 area. But take some of your profit, brother. At least you can buy in down at your lower levels. But those are the top crypto as of right now. Let me make sure if anything's different. Oh, who's Tono coin? Holy crap! That's a different one.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm looking for something here. Ton coin.
Yeah, who are they? I don't even know who they are.
TON?
Yeah.
Pedro. It's like the 10th largest one in the world now. It's Telegram.
I know. That's what I'm like. How do I not know that?
No, it's Telegram's token.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is the one that I regret in life. Right here. This one. Yep. I don't know why I forgot about it. You talk about something, bro, that was, this was a no-brainer. I saw this out when it was almost 2,000. Legit. There was nothing. And I said, I need to buy that. That's going to be big.
Welcome, the mayor of Akron Farmer. Yes, it's the Telegram phone. I have a feeling you're behind a few minutes there, Mr. Anti-Rugger.
Mr. Anti-Rugger. But you talk about one, bro, that I'm just like, when was it? I think it was down in here when we started seeing the sell-off. from last year. And I said to myself, I probably should buy this. Like, I probably should buy it around in this lower level. We had that sell off, and I was like, you should buy this. You know, like you need to buy this.
The mayor says half the exchanges don't even acknowledge TON exists yet. I know. Well, it does have a Russian connection to it, so there's a little hesitancy there with that. Nobody knows.
Small Russian connection.
It's not so small. But there's a hesitancy on a lot of exchanges because of that. It's just there's the KYC with Telegram in the first place isn't so good. And the provenance of its ownership and software and all that type of stuff. But literally a billion people use it in the world. So it's not like you can say, oh, well, you could bad people, you can't use that. Literally a billion people use it, you know.
Yeah.
Look at the top 10 on crypto.com, and number 9 is missing. So CDC isn't acknowledging TON yet. Mayor says it never fails. I'm behind. Sorry. Well, that's true. I'm going to take. Let's see if I got this link here. Cupcake.com. If you want to send an invite.
Yes.
One second.
Hey, do you need an investor? Anton Parosi. Is that Anton?
No, he's Anton Golub.
Oh yeah. He's a broker. He's asking us on LinkedIn, hey, do you need an investor? Oh. Yeah, dude. Why not?
Yes,
come invest.
yes,
in us,
Antonio. We do need an investor.
We do need an investor.
We do. We're taking. We're offering 5% of everything here for $1 billion.
Dude, I think you're underselling it. Underselling it just a little. Come on.
But anyway, thank you for commenting, Antonio. You're still watching. Appreciate it. To the people on Twitch now, or Twitter, the views are coming up. But drop us some comments if you're watching over there.
Absolutely.
Have a few viewers on Twitch. You know what? This is a good time to talk about tomorrow. We're gonna have Chris Liquin, who's the CEO of Cupcake, and Cupcake is. Let me bring their screen up here. That's a futurist convention. I'll talk about them in a second. Let's bring cupcake.com. Let's see. Play, collect, win. It's that simple. Submit your picks and classic. They got cupcake.com domain. Wow. Buy, sell, burn, and caption this. Collect unique cupcakes designed by awesome digital artists and climb the leadership boards of your path to incredible. Share and complete with friends. I just made contact with him while we're on the show here. He hit me up in a Chicago networking group, and apparently, as he likes to describe his new product. Let me find it. It is a. Hold on, here it is. Let me bring it up on Twitter here. Social gaming app, crypto Cupcake Protocol uses a TikTok-like feed of games to help bring players deeper into the crypto world and serves up Solana-based rewards. All right, well, that's going to be interesting. I saw him post about it, and I was like, hey, this is interesting. It's a new thing, and if anything can be TikTok-like, it's going to get a lot of users. Just saying. But anyway, looking forward to having Chris on the show tomorrow. He'll come on in the second half of our show due to his schedule and just talk about developing something like the Cupcake Protocol. Should be interesting. Involves gaming and social media and TikTok type stuff. So obviously I don't know much about it now, but by tomorrow I will come on and talk about it. And also I want to mention, in case you haven't heard Pedro and I talk about it, the Blockchain Futurist Convention is coming up August 13th through 14th in Toronto. For you Canuckistanis that want to go, hit me up. We've got a discount code for tickets and that type of stuff. It's gonna sell out probably in the next I don't know. I'd say end of June or so. It'll probably sell out. But right now they're doing a buy one get one free. In other words, 50% off if you buy two. And then I think you can get a further discount if you use our discount code. But anyway, Pedro and I are going to be there so long as Pedro gets his passport sorted out. Covering the convention officially as a media partner for the Blockchain Futures Convention. And with its ETH Toronto and ETH Women Hackathon Toronto, along with the Blockchain Conference. And it's always good. Last year's keynote speaker was Charles Hodgson. They've had all the guys that have started Ethereum, because Ethereum kind of really actually started in Toronto, not in Switzerland. And it's very well attended. It's a great 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 get together. And we're going to be doing it also with Zach Humphreys. We're teaming up to do our broadcast from there. We're going to do our show from there. He's going to do his shows, and then we're going to combine and do some joint stuff too. And I believe also the Futurist Convention is going to cover us and use us for commentary on their live stream as well. So should be a good time. Anyone that wants to go to it, hit me up. I'll be there. Come meet us. And if you're good at talking about crypto, maybe you can be live on the show.
Come on in. Come on over. You know, it's funny talking about, dude, I can't believe how much of a pain it is with the passport crap, dude. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like.
When was the last time you got one? You had to have one when you were in the military, right?
No, dude, you don't need one in your military, bro. You show your military ID.
I think you've been out for too long of a time there, my friend.
Oh, really? You now need a passport in the military?
Well, now they send so many people. You know, when they just send a plane with a whole bunch of guys on it, you know, from one base to another, that's different. But now they send so many people around just by themselves, you know, on civilian flights, and so you got to, you know, on civilian international flights, your U.S. military ID doesn't it works in the U.S. but not, you know, it doesn't work getting into certain countries. They're like, need passport.
Yeah, dude, it's been about 10 years plus for me since I've been out. So,
Dar baby says the daily shill for reward token.
Did we announce them today yet?
No, that's different.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's our friends from Nigeria. They're putting together the reward token along with a whole bunch of other people from all over the world.
Right.
That's where a bunch of them are, but that's a good time to talk about World of Rewards, ladies and gentlemen. World of Rewards is one of our sponsors here. Go see Bruno over there and test out his reward system. And I always say this, especially if you are I might as well bring his website up. World of... Oh, why doesn't it come up? Oh, I hate that. Nope, that's a different one. World of Rewards New Zealand? No. World of Rewards. All right, well, whatever. I'll put Pedro's screen back up. But anyway, go see down here at the bottom. It says World of... Oh, the website is literally right there in front of me. World of Rewards.
So what happens when you get old, you know?
I know, the brain just goes. Anyway, here's Bruno's website. Go over there, and you can get two things. What they do is if you hold their token, you get exposure to all these new projects that have gone through the Bruno checking machine to make sure they're real projects. And you can get rewards in these other ones, which leads you to FOMO into other projects that may help you out. And if you're another project owner that's small, you should think about being part of the World of Rewards group, because you can get a lot more holders this way by just giving out a little bit of rewards here to seed people's wallets, and they actively join it and actively ask for the rewards. So it's not just like getting airdrops that you don't know where they come from, and they bring you new holders. So if you're a small project, get in touch with Bruno at World of Rewards. And if you are just a small investor that is just always looking to find new things that are not rug pulls, go over there and check them out as well. As I said yesterday, until Bruno calls me and says, "Tom, we've got too many people over here now," I'm going to keep bugging you about it. So,
say bug away, bug away.
And I haven't talked about him in a while, but let me get. For some reason, I had a tab with all of these things on it, and it. and it doesn't work anymore. I don't know where they went. I'm having to search for it. The DeFi Dojo. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. DeFi Dojo. And the door's closed. Yes, there we go. And they open back up. But anyway, the DeFi Dojo is a partner of ours for bringing AMAs to many places at once. If you're a small project and want to get your name out there and have a lot of AMAs on Telegram, X Spaces, and even here on this show, contact down in the comments down here, except on LinkedIn because they don't like that. You can get a hold of me directly, but JBee has contact information. The DeFi Dojo. Not only can they get you for one package AMAs all over the place, they can also get you part of the Assure DeFi. Oh, I don't have that button on this Stream Deck. Assure DeFi system gets you a discount on getting KYC'd with Assure DeFi. So go check them out. Go check out the DeFi Dojo Lounge. And that, my friend, is that for the sponsor things. I'll spare you the Audit Chain and Pacioli one today because we did the long one yesterday. Kansas says it's the hourly shill for Pepsi. Yeah, well, good. Shill it. Dar Baby says I'm not in Nigeria. No, you're not. It just happens to be a lot of the guys from Reward Token are. What else we got to talk about today, Pedro?
I think it's about it. I mean, I can't think of anything else. There's a few other small stories going on with crypto, but nothing really substantial. But 1:30, man, I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Guys, I'll let you go. I know Tom wants to maybe talk about a couple other things, but I'm headed out of here.
Pedro's got a hard stop once again at 1:30. Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst.
All right, guys. Take it easy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Many blessings. Bye.
Well, now we can get to the party. Woohoo! Pedro's out. Yes. Just kidding. We always miss Pedro as soon as he's gone. Anyway, I hit all the topics I wanted to talk about today. The important part was just bringing up the knowledge base about tokenization of projects. You hear it all the time. Many of us, like Jesus, who's not here today, concentrates on owning as many meme coins as possible. But many of you also are out there trying to get better at. Let's see, do I have that right? Get better at and learn more stuff, and that's what we like to do here. Bring you new things to talk about. New things to talk about. Make sure that you're keeping your skills up. Also, tomorrow we're gonna have a good day with a new guest. I always like it when I bring a good guest on the show. And Chris from Cupcake Protocol is gonna introduce us to the whole new something all new that we can all FOMO into, hopefully. And I didn't mention and you know what? I'll just bring them up now to talk about it. The whole Crow FOMO group. I talked about it yesterday. Let's go back to that screen. Talked about it yesterday here. Oh, poor Pedro, just sitting up there. I'll turn Pedro off today. Yesterday I spoke about this group, and since then I've learned a little bit more about them. But in essence, Crow FOMO, obviously on the Kronos chain, is a group that's starting an EFT of DeFi stuff by cross-investing in other Kronos projects via holding their LP. All of the LP for this group, and in this pair it says $72,000 over there, is put up by the community after they launched. I think they started with a little bit. But it's not from pre-sales, or it's not even under the control of the devs. It's all people putting in their own liquidity, which is amazing. Frankly, is amazing. And they invest in other projects by taking liquidity and pairing it with their token. They take their own money and pair it with someone else to support that project, earn the fees from it, and do all types of stuff. with it, and that's Crow FOMO, and doing quite well. They're up, I don't know, they were up 100x before. Now they're up only 50x or something like that, but still a good project. I talked about them yesterday. I'll keep talking about them because it's something new and something that we want to learn about. For those of you that got all the way to this part of the show, especially on Twitter, I want to thank everybody for watching on Twitter. We had over 50 views on Twitter. I can't wait to look at the analytics to see if the views are any good or not. I guess when Pedro's not here, I don't have to be so small. But I had a few other things on here. They're interesting tidbits, but I've forgotten them. Let's see. Crypto disclosures. Oh yeah, this was for Audit Chain. SEC says investors lack needed crypto disclosures following multiple Wells notices. If you're someone that's got a project out there, Audit Chain's new software, the Lucas Suite, handles all of this stuff for you. You can literally launch your crypto with all of the needed disclosures and everything like that. Let me start out by saying stable coins and that type of stuff. Working on getting all sorts of other things compliant as well. That's our sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. They're getting ready to take over the world. And if you're in Nairobi, if you're a viewer in Nairobi, Audit Chain's lead architect, Jason Myers, is going to be appearing. Let's see if we can find that. Jason Myers. I mean, even the keynote address. Here it is. Pioneering the future of developers. Pacioli AI's revolutionary role in digital asset regulatory compliance under MiCA and VARA. MiCA is the European regulation group. VARA is for the UAE. And I would bet my life that the VARA being the leader in the UAE at this, it's going to trickle into the other countries and probably become a standard regulatory body in the GCC itself. Or at least everyone will just outright copy them. So if you happen to be in Nairobi, Nairobi's a great place. I love Nairobi. I've been there a couple of times in the old work. Fun place. It's Kenya. Awesome stuff. Went out into the parks there one day and had a great time doing what's called a sundowner. Go see giraffes and elephants and all this type of stuff. It was great and had a lot of fun there. And then one time I was supposed to be there, but I had to delay my trip by a month, and there was that terrorist attack at the mall. And the mall is where we all met to go to the national parks. It happened literally, we were supposed to be there that day. Massive terrorist attack. I missed it by a month. Anyway, looking forward to hearing Jason's speech. I will not be there, but I'll listen to it anyway. Always good things to say about that. If any got any comments, want to bring up a chart or anything you want me to shill, let me know. I've got about 10 minutes left in the show here. Yeah, let's see. Where's that thing? All right. What was the other? Oop, not them. Already did that. Oh yeah, this one. The university speaker talks about Bitcoin, and he got booed. The boos from 60,000 Ohio State University graduates and their guests swelled as alum and commencement speaker Chris Pan explained, "I see Bitcoin as a very misunderstood asset class." He is a 1999 alum who's since gone on to become a social entrepreneur, musician, inspirational speaker, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he got booed. Crowd reactions to pro-Bitcoin remarks at OSU's commitment are telling. Bitcoin is a brand, and to this audience, an annoying or possible grifty one. Whatever. Losers. I spent a lot of time in the great state of Ohio. Oh, here's an updated story. Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler says, it's our fault the SEC appears so focused on crypto. There's an outsized ratio of journalist questions and crypto journalists to market cap. Oh, here he's blaming it all on the crypto people now. All right, well, that's always good. That's right, Gary. It's all our fault. It's all our fault. Where's that article about... I want to make sure I kept that one. Tar Baby says, hate that guy. He's just made to hate. You know, God gave him a certain look that says, please hate me, and then his actions, his actions themselves. Where was that article I just saw talking about lack of regulatory, lack of disclosure? There it is. Good article here, which I'm going to drop into the audit chain group. Telling you people, the audit chain protocol is going to pop here, and you're going to want to be on that train for sure. Let's drop this here. Chain official chat. All right. I guess that's it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. I literally could go on forever. There's so much to talk about. But I usually like to be organized about it, and those are all the things I had organized for it. Troublesome Creek, good to hear from you again. Guys, did you see the graphic? It's worth a look. What graphic? Did I miss a post from you? Notice the massive derivatives market. Troublesome Creek, give me some update on what you're talking about there. I guess Dar Baby, I'll stick around for a little bit to see what Troublesome Creek has to say about the graphic, about the derivatives. Although if you're just posting about the derivatives, we started talking about them a long time ago. You may be behind, so I may not hear from you, Troublesome. Let's look through the great comment machine. Yeah, Troublesome, sorry I didn't acknowledge that you were here earlier. Scrolled right by me. Once again, thanks to those of you watching us on X. Always helps. It helps. We're trying to get this thing going here. We're trying. I didn't. See if that works. Ah, look at that. Ooh, all right, Troublesome Creek, I think you're too far behind to answer my question in a timely manner. I should clarify that he's not behind in life or anything like that. He's just behind in the feed or in the live stream. Many thanks to Anton Golub. Looking forward to having you on the show here, hopefully next week when you get back from Dubai. I have you on in Dubai, but you always have a crap... Actually, you always have a crappy internet connection, Anton. Oh, here's a good one. Bullish option. Bitcoin options traders bet on a bullish September price move above 100,000. Option markets are saying that price is going to moon. Now, Pedro was telling us that it was going to go up to 80,000. It's the mark that he's looking for on the next upward move. I don't recall the timing that he gave. Anyway, interesting. All right, everybody. The witching hour has come. So that means I didn't do enough sound effects today. Didn't do enough sound. Now, why did that stop the sound when I went to a different... Anyway, it's that time of the day. Manila kick tracks. Dar baby, bye. The rest of you that stuck it out here today on LinkedIn, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, but X. Thank you all for joining in. Really appreciate it. Had another great day with all of you. Talked all about news. Tried to teach you something about securitization of stocks so you can trade them in your crypto wallet. Talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum, AVAX, DOT, a whole bunch of charts, that kind of stuff. During the whole show here, the price of Bitcoin barely moved. We didn't get to influence that at all. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have Chris Liquid on for the Cupcake Protocol in the second half of the show. So tune in for that. I'll try and engage his community, get him to bomb us, bring the viewership up, and hopefully have a great day. Now I'm just going to jam to my song. That's right. Getting silly, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. So be there.